Family, buckle up. Because just when the world thought Prince Harry's quiet steps toward reconciliation with King Charles were finally creating some peace boom, the palace launches a new round of confusion, dismissal, and behind-the-scenes briefing designed to undermine Harry yet again. Today, we're breaking down how the palace tried to dismiss Harry's team, how the media twisted basic courtesy into scandal, and why Harry's recent actions show crystal clear who is acting in good faith and who isn't. Let's get into it. The UK tabloids have been salivating these past few days. They've pushed a storyline claiming Harry is creating clashes with the palace, that his team failed to inform King Charles and Prince William about his recent engagements, and the Buckingham Palace dismissed Harry's explanation. Sounds dramatic, right? Except when you break down the facts, it becomes painfully clear. The clash is manufactured, the outrage is performative, and the palace is once again weaponizing silence and strategic media briefings to paint Harry as the problem. Here's what actually happened. In recent weeks, Harry has been showing something that terrifies the palace: independence and integrity. He has written thoughtful public essays about service and duty, engaged in heartfelt events tied to his military roots' honoured royal tradition, while being completely free from palace control. These are the exact qualities the institution always claimed they wanted in a royal: a prince with compassion, a prince with purpose, a prince with devotion to service. But here's the twist. The moment Harry shows these qualities without being under their thumb, suddenly the palace becomes deeply concerned. Funny how that works. Here's where the manufactured drama begins. Earlier this month, Prince William was on a 5-day trip to Brazil, and on the exact day of the Earthshot Prize ceremony, Harry had a scheduled visit to Canada. Immediately, the tabloids screamed, "How dare Harry clash with William's big event?" But the Duke of Sussex's office confirmed they informed the palace well in advance as a courtesy. They didn't need permission. They didn't need approval. They simply extended professional respect. And what did the Times publish? No one at Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace received anything. A clear pushback, a public dismissal, a deliberate attempt to undermine Harry's credibility. Let's pause. Do we honestly believe Harry's team, seasoned professionals well versed in royal protocol, suddenly forgot how to send an email? Or is the palace playing its favourite game, "We didn't get the message," while quietly enjoying the chaos that follows? You decide. Next, Harry visited Toronto to meet with royal regiments in Canada, a completely reasonable engagement that aligns with his role as a veteran. But again, the media spun it like his trip required palace approval. Approval from whom? Harry no longer works for the royal institution. He doesn't take orders. He's not bound to their schedule. And still, his team offered courtesy updates to avoid misunderstandings. But when clarification was requested, Montecito chose silence. Not out of disrespect, but because they don't owe the palace explanations, especially when those explanations will be twisted into headlines. Now, here's where things get very interesting. The article mentions a secret meeting between Harry's aides and the King's team, during which Harry offered to share his diary to prevent scheduling conflicts. Let me repeat that. Harry proactively tried to avoid clashes. He extended this courtesy to King Charles's office, Prince William's office, Princess Kate's office. That is transparency. That is goodwill. That is maturity. And what did the palace do? They quietly filed it away as ammunition. So when the next fabricated clash emerged, they could shrug and say, "We didn't receive anything." Classic. The article exposes a critical detail. Harry's team released a statement emphasizing that his relationship with the king is a matter for the two of them and the two of them only. This wasn't shade. It wasn't drama. It was Harry drawing a protective boundary. Why? Because royal insiders had been briefing tabloids claiming Harry was treated like a guest, not family, during a recent private meeting with his father. Where did that come from? Not Harry. Not his team. Only one side benefits from that narrative, and it isn't Montecito. Harry's frustration has always been clear. The men in grey suits need to stay out of it. The institution, its machinery, not necessarily the family, keeps turning reconciliation into spectacle. But here's the problem for them. They keep forgetting who Harry is now. He is no longer the controlled, spare walking palace corridors. He is independent. He is confident. He is unbothered. He is globally supported. And he is free to speak truth without fear. And that freedom, it terrifies them. Let's talk motives. Why is the palace suddenly dismissing his claims? Why undermine his team? Why fuel stories of clashes? Simple. They are losing control of the narrative. Harry is reconnecting with his father, rebuilding trust, engaging in military service, speaking passionately about duty, showing the world who he is without their script. This is dangerous not to the monarchy as an institution, but to the fragile egos operating it. Because Harry is proving something powerful. You can serve the people. You can uphold values. You can honour tradition without surrendering your autonomy. And that is what the firm cannot tolerate. Let's zoom out. Every time Harry acts from love, service or transparency, the palace responds with denial, confusion or media spin. Why? Because they need him to be the villain. Because they need the rebel son storyline. Because they need headlines. Because William's image depends on the contrast, the dutiful heir versus the difficult spare. But here's what they didn't expect. The world sees through it now. People are tired of the inconsistencies. The public recognizes authenticity. Harry's actions aren't chaotic, they're consistent. The palace's responses aren't diplomatic, they're defensive. This latest clash isn't Harry's doing. It's the palace escalating private matters into public theatre because they can't handle the optics of Harry thriving. Even when the palace dismisses him, even when tabloids twist the story, even when insiders plant whispers, Harry wins because he is, reconnecting with his father on his terms, redefining royal service outside rigid institutions, respected internationally, displaying maturity the palace refuses to match. He doesn't need approval to do good. And above all, Harry is free. Free from briefing wars, free from control, free from narrative manipulation, free to speak and act from purpose, not protocol. The palace's latest attempt to drag him back into drama only highlights one truth. Harry has outgrown the institution, and the institution hasn't figured out how to cope with that loss. If you loved this breakdown and you're tired of the palace twisting simple acts of courtesy into scandal, hit that like button right now. Make sure you subscribe to the Sussex Insights for more fact-based, pro-Harry and Meghan commentary the mainstream media refuses to deliver. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.